that's the maximum area for that assembly room. That's the maximum you could have. So.
Okay. So they're not going to do anything different to the entrances or?
No, they're not changing anything on the outside, really. They're upgrading. Obviously, it's been in disrepair, so they're going to upgrade it.
Okay.
Filming. So they'll upgrade it, but
What changes are they asking for a variance for?
originally there were a number of variances that were asked for. All of those have gone away except the potential of keeping this sign. This sign is there now.
Right.
It was allowed to stay in the right of way, and that's the only variance that we
So in other
think
words,
we need.
they want to put a sign on that.
Reuse that
There,
existing
so to speak.
sign.
Would it
Right.
otherwise be public property?
You know, it shows up, we're doing a survey now to determine the exact, this survey shows this as approximate apparent right-of-way line. So it's not exactly exact. So we're narrowing that down, but it appears this is in the right-of-way. Whether they bought, they paid for the sign, we don't know yet.
Okay.
So we're going to do some research on that. But these have been allowed to continue in existence. So our belief is they will be allowed to continue to be there.
Okay. But the property would remain public property except that it would be their sign there.
Obviously, at this point, there's no use for that property by Fulton County. If at some time they do realign, then I'm sure they'll have to be moved.
Okay. Is the current location in DeKalb County to be maintained, or is this going to be the only Scientology location in the Atlanta area?
This is a relocation of that facility.
Okay, so what's going to
But
happen to
they're-
this place?
Don't know at this point. I don't know the answer to that. I'll be glad to find out.
Okay. What's the approximate timetable for completion of the work once they have approval?
My understanding is they'll begin the design work and they will start immediately.
Okay.
So as soon as they complete their permitting and design
Okay,
work.
how long do they have any guesstimates on how long it's going to take?
I have not gotten that information
Okay. Where is funds for the project coming from?
from donations from the
Donations from the parishioners?
From the
So
parishioners.
it's not coming from existing church funds, are they still collecting donations? Have they already raised the money, or are they in the process of raising the money?
They purchased the facility.
Oh, well, I understand that, but I'm
So-
talking about the renovation.
No.
Are they currently collecting donations for the renovation, or are they, have they already collected the money for the renovation?
I'm glad they try to find that out. The church stands behind what they're doing, and so they do plan on renovating the facility. So they will raise.
Just worried because a lot of people are being, pinched from a lot of directions. And
Sure.
people who were capable of donating. And if things get stalled for lack of funds, then the thing's going to be sitting in limbo for however long until they can get more out of
It's
their.
been in limbo for quite some time
Yeah.
since it's been sitting there, not in use today, and hasn't been in use for quite some time. So
Who will be doing the work? Have they determined that?
They have
Will it
not
be paid work
determined that.
or volunteer work?
they've not been. That has not been.
They haven't gone that far yet. Will other Scientology-based organizations be using the building?
It won't be limited. It'll be the church will own the church.
I
So
understand that, but I'm talking about
so
things like WISE, CCHR, Narconon, Crimenon. Will they be using-
Narconon will not be.
Narconon will not be using the
Will not be
facility.
using this facility.
Okay.
I'm not familiar with any of the other.
Okay.
Are you counsel for the Church of Scientology?
Yes, I am. And who are you, sir?
My name is Mr.
What's your interest in a local zoning issue in Sandy Springs, Georgia? Do you own property near here?
No, I do business in Sandy Spring.
Okay. Where's your business?
I'm self-employed.
Okay.
Will anybody be residing in the building?
No, they will not.
There will be nobody residing in the building at any time.
That's correct.
Okay. And this is more a question for the city of Sandy Springs. Is there any representative of the city who can answer my question on this.
We'll do our best.
Okay. What impact will Scientology's reputation have on the public image of the city of Sandy Springs?
It's just a rezoning.
What does that have,
Really?
this,
This
what does
is
that have to do with,
This is a rezoning case.
a rezoning?
Under the ordinance, a church is allowed in O&I zoning. The only reason we're rezoning is because the condition to this piece of property right now is office use only.
Okay.
And so we have to go through the rezoning process to allow church use.
Okay.
It has no reflect, we don't have any opinion either way. The
Okay.
Church of Scientology, if you want an official comment from the city, you'd have to contact our communications department.
Okay.
And what was your name?
My name is.
Do we need to come up there to ask questions?
You can
No.
ask
Sure.
from there.
Whatever.
Or can
It's
we
just an
ask
informal
them?
meeting.
Just
you can
an
ask from
informal.
there.
Okay, how many square feet is that building, or has someone already asked that question, I just walked in?
It's about 46,000 square feet.
Okay, and in the city of Sandy Springs, is there any kind of regulation, rules or regulations about parking of cars per square feet?
Yeah, they meet the parking requirement. Under a church use, you're required 30 space, or, what is it, I don't even have that.
One space per 30 square feet of assembly area.
So they're
So
required to have.
for their largest assembly area, they're required to have one space per every 30 square feet. And in this case, that total would be 46 spaces.
47, I think, with the.
And what is it, I'm sorry, 46,000 square feet, did you say?
No, because of the assembly area, at maximum, the area of the assembly is 1,400 square feet.
Or 1,400, I'm sorry.
And so because of the maximum area of 1,400 square feet.
But how large is the whole
divided
building?
by-
How big is the whole?
It's approximately 46,000 square feet.
Right, yeah,
That includes a lot of square footage that isn't used, that is entry halls and all that kind of stuff. What churches
I see
are,
what you're saying now.
church, the way you park a church use is based on the sanctuary or the
Well,
the
so
assembly area.
there's one room for the assembly, but are there other rooms for offices?
There are other rooms for offices and classrooms, just like there are.
So does that meet the same requirements? I mean, per square footage? You're telling me that the assembly room's 1,400. What about the other rooms?
Well, you don't.
What's the usable square footage?
What you do is you use one count or the other, and if it's a church, you use the church count. The church count is one space per 30 square feet.
So if it
we
was a
have
different
requirement.
kind of business, it would be different.
Back when it was being used as office,
Uh-huh.
they had to meet the office count,
Mhm.
which obviously they did based on the use of that facility at the time.
Okay, and in doing this, are the city of Sandy Springs, or are they planning on changing the traffic pattern at all?
No.
In that area?
No,
That is
Roswell
not-
Road's owned by Georgia Department of Transportation, so any Roswell Road work would have to be done by them.
Because, that corner there is a horrible corner.
Yeah, our transfer, I believe next week we'll have our interdepartment meeting, so.
Is that the next one?
That's not a public meeting, that's an internal meeting, where we get to all the other departments for their comments on the project, and one of the departments would be our transportation department.
Because
take a look at
I know that when they build high-rises sometimes in buildings, office space, they'll, add an extra lane or,
They're not doing anything on the exterior of the building, and the size of the project does not require them to do a traffic study or anything like that, so it's just an interior remodel of the building.